Hey, Steve here, and I'm going to show you a two-hand tapping exercise. Oh, come on, Steve, how are you going to teach people on YouTube if you can't even play the bloody thing yourself, you idiot? Hey there, so good to see you. All joking aside, in this video I will be showing you a two-hand finger tapping exercise that I came up with. This is going to be good if you're looking to strengthen your fingers for two-hand tapping and you want to use incorporate fingers maybe you've been neglecting. So you're thinking, I'm going to be looking at using three fingers on both hands here for the two-hand tapping, and it's also going to be good if you want to start getting into like looking at how to make some kind of math rock kind of tapping ideas. So the exercise is based on a lot of the tapping that you're going to be hearing in your favorite math rock tunes, so I've tried to make it fit within that style of music, so I hope it comes across that way. So I've come up with two exercises, but they are the same. One is in major and one is in minor. So first we'll take a look at the major exercise, and notice in the exercise how as every bar changes I'm adding an extra finger until we end up using three fingers on our left hand and three fingers on our right hand. So let's take a look at that and I'll talk about it a bit more after. So what did you think to that? Did it sound within the vein of math rock or like emo styles of music? That's the way I wrote it. So I played that exercise there. The example was in 120 beats per minute. But if it's a bit too quick for you, I recommend you slow it down. And if you grab your metronome, because there was different time signatures in that, right? There was 3/4, 4/4, and 5/4. You might get a bit confused if you just set, one time signature trying to tap over that. So I recommend not setting any time signature and just set a pulse, and build it up as a steady speed at first, and then work your way up. And make sure you're playing each note accurately. Each note's being played cleanly. This is helping me here. This is a fret wrap. And this is killing any open notes or those like harmonic overtones that you get ringing sometimes. For example, if I take it off, you can get ringing strings in between. But if you haven't got a fret wrap, you can use your index finger here as a mute. So this takes some practice, but basically you're just ever so slightly touching the strings to kill the open strings. But this will also help you, but it means you can't really play on the open strings when you've got it on. But it will make a part sound very clean and precise. So as you saw there, like I said, I'm adding a finger each time. So we start with, and then I add another one on the right hand. And then I add another on the left hand. And then another on the right hand. And then another on the left hand. So that's based around a major 7 chord basically. So yeah, you can use that, and after you've become familiar with the exercise, you can use this as a warm-up routine, or if you're just getting into tapping and you want to learn how to incorporate more of your fingers in tapping, then it's good for that. But then you can start to branch out of this idea. And as I said, this is based on a major scale, so you can just use let's say any of these kind of notes, and use your ear to help you. You must be getting to a point now where you can start to understand, you can start to hear the differences between major and minor, I hope. Next, let's move on to the minor variation. It's basically the same thing over again, but this time we're going to be obviously voicing it in a minor sound. So let's take a listen to that, and I'll get back to you afterwards. So that was a minor variation, and you may have noticed, like the major one, it adds a finger as each bar changes. So again, we started with the just the 2 notes, and then we added a finger on the right hand, sorry, and then on the left hand, and then the right hand. So again, set your metronome just to have a steady pulse, and take your time slowly with that. And then, like the major one, you can start to mess around with coming up with your own variations to write some kind of mathy ideas. A few pointers, like I said, make sure you're hitting each note cleanly. A fret wrap can help, and also a compressor can really help as well, evening out your sound. So I'd recommend getting one of them if you haven't already, and if you really want to get into tapping. But you don't necessarily need one, but it can help. And to use your index finger to help you mute those open strings when you pull off the tap, basically, or when you let go of the tap, I should say. And also, it's important to try and keep your wrist straight. If you're having your wrist like this, at this kind of angle where it's you're putting a lot of tension here, and you're going to put a lot of strain on your wrist if you're playing with your wrist in that. And it's not going to be so good in the future if you want to keep playing guitar. You're going to put too much strain there, and it doesn't feel as nice to play if you keep your wrist back here nice and straight. You're going to find it's easier to play, and when you're done playing as well, your wrist is not going to hurt, and also you're not damaging your wrist in the long term as well, which is very important. And so that's it for the 2 exercises. So I'll leave you with one more exercise as a bonus, and this is something that I like to do when I warm up for tapping. So let's take a look at the example of that. So basically that is, I'll just play it slow for you. It's really hard to keep those notes from ringing right. Sometimes I use this part of my palm here to mute the top E, and use this part here to mute the other strings. So it's going to take a while to get used to that if you haven't done it before, but I recommend that you do try that out. So that's everything for this tutorial. The tabs will be over on my lovely website, and I'll throw a link in the description for that for you. If you haven't subscribed already and you've been watching my content quite often, then please do subscribe. It does help me. Every subscription that I get helps my video get out there, more and more people see it. And so if you really do believe that my content is good and helping people, then if you could do me the favor of subscribing subscribing and liking, that would be fantastic. Please leave any comments below and we can have a discussion about anything you want to. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.